Hey there guys, Raymond here, also known as Ray Vision, and welcome back to another Forza Motorsport 7 Top 10 list. Now today we're going to be counting down the top 10 drift cars in Forza Motorsport 7 as voted by you guys. But before we get started, I just want to mention a few things. First off, if you guys disagree with the order of this list and would like to participate in future lists, I highly recommend you subscribe and follow me on social media. As well, join the Discord server as that is where I post the polls. As well, next week we're going to be doing the top 10 tips and tricks for Need for Speed Payback, so if you have any recommendations, leave those in the comments down below. Also, if you have any recommendations for any future top 10 lists in any sort of racing game, please leave those in the comments down below as well, because I will be sure to check them out. All that having been said, let's get started. At number 10, we have a car that at first I did not expect too much from, but with time, some drift building, and some drifting, it grew on me, and that is the Volvo 242 Turbo. You would be surprised by how good this car is, especially in those slow, high control corners, like for example the Catalunya school circuit. It is where it excels the most. Something you guys should also know about all the drift builds you're going to be seeing on this list, they are all available under Ray Drift, and Best for Speed. That having been said, I have all made them and they are all using the stock engine. So some of them may be underpowered, some of them might be slightly different, but Volvo 242 Turbo with the stock engine is actually really good. It might struggle with something like Bernese Alps, but in a map like Catalunya, ho, you better watch out because it's coming. Now at number 9, we have the Honda S2000, and if you've never driven this car, well, drive it now, because I can tell you something. It is extremely light, it's extremely easy to control, but it's also extremely easy to spin out. Now the reason for that is because it's so light, you give it too much gas, it's very easy to lose control of the car, but once you get used to it, the amount of control that lightness and that weight distribution gives you is unreal. You can control the angle, you can go really far with this car, and you can have a lot of fun with just a stock engine because it is so light. And for that reason, it's just a joy to be drifting. And so at number 9, the Honda S2000. At number 8, we have the Nissan Fairlady Z, and this car, well, let's just be honest, how can you have a top 10 drift car list without having a Nissan in it, and how can you have a Nissan in the top 10 drift car list without having a Fairlady? Because let's just be honest, when it comes to drifting, it's such a Fairlady. Huh? You get it? What I did? Anyways, moving on, the Nissan Fairlady is such a fun car to drift. Not only do you have access to many body customizations options in Forza Motorsport 7, you can also just enjoy this car. It has a very nice balance spot, and what I mean by this is when drifting a car, you're often seeking to find that balance spot on which you can keep the throttle and counter steer. And in this car, it's very generous. That having been said, when you do spin out, it's almost impossible to recover, but that balance area is very much present, and it's so easy to make this car go sideways, and that is why it is at number 8. Now, I hope no one is surprised by number 7. This car was definitely going to be on the list, and that is the Hoonigan Hoonicorn, which is by no doubt an incredible drift car. That having been said, the fact that it has so much power and that it's 4-wheel drive, I struggled a lot with it because it is different from any other car you will drift in Forza Motorsport 7, and as a result, you can't really apply the techniques that you've used in the past to this car. You have to develop your own, and this is why the drifting gameplay you're seeing is not super stellar, but, you know, does the job. So at number 7, the Hoonigan Hoonicorn. In 6th position, we have a car which really shows my lack in tastes, and that is the Mazda RX7 FC. Now, it's not the car that's bad, the car is incredible at drifting. Are you kidding me? It's a blast. That having been said, the pink paint job I put on it is quite questionable. We'll just leave it at that. That having been said, this car takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get it, it has a lot of steering angle, which means you can go absolutely wild with this car. That having been said, since I'm an interior view drifter, it is a bit of a struggle in this one because it is right-hand drive, and it's sort of like, yeah, no, it's complicated. Just trust me on this. You can try driving an interior view. It's not as easy as you think it is, but when it comes to drifting, it definitely deserves to be on this list. Welcome to the top 5, and to start us off we have the Nissan S15 Silvia, which really deserves its 5th position place just for being goddamn awesome. If you take this car out for a drift, it will not disappoint. It has plenty of power, plenty of lack of traction, and getting it drifting and keeping it drifting is no tall task. It's actually fairly simple, and you can really push this car to the limit and get a lot out of it, which is why I find it's deserving of number 5, and probably why you guys voted it in as number 5. Now, number 4 was the biggest surprise, and by that I mean not a surprise for you guys, because I'm sure you guys knew that the M3 E36 was an awesome drift car, but for me, I had heard of it, and I knew it was a good drift car, but I'd never taken the time to make a proper drift build for myself. And oh my gosh, can I say something about the BMW M3 E36? If I were ranking this list, this car without a doubt would be number 1, because the ease with which you can drift this car is not even funny. It's a lot of fun. I mean, like, I was having so much fun. Usually it takes me a few laps to get used to a different drift car, you know, yada yada yada. No. This car, you do one corner and you already understand how it works, and it is incredible the amount of fun you can have. To the limits you can push it, it is just absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you go check this car out, and that is why it is deserving of number 4, if not higher. At number 3, we're greeted by the Mazda RX7 FD. Basically, it's an RX7 FC, except better, so why wouldn't it be even higher on the list? Let's just make sense of it. It's a Mazda RX7, it looks awesome, it was an initial deep, and it drifts like a king, so I don't see why we wouldn't want to have this car so high on the list. In fact, it's just where it belongs, at number 3. At number 2, we have a car that I got to choose because you guys voted for an option that was called Raymond's Secret Choice. It was a car that you guys did not know what it was, but I'm pretty sure most of you did know what it was. And that ended up in 2nd position, and that is the C6 ZR1. This has been the car that I've been drifting since Forza Motorsport 5, and this car is just so much fun. It sucks in those really tight corners. It's a struggle to keep it in, but when you get anything long, like Bernese Alps is just such a dream with this car. Any long track like Prague, why wouldn't you want to be driving the Corvette? It's just so much fun. I love it. It's a great car, and it has a V8 engine, and it sounds good, and I like this car a lot. So it's number 2, and if you want to flame wars in the comments down below, just remember, you voted for it. And if you didn't vote, well, you can't really afford to complain now, can you? Now, the king in drifting of Forza Motorsport 7, as voted by you guys, at number 1, we have the Nissan 240 SX, which, let's be honest, I'm not really too surprised. And all of you that were wondering, where's my 240? Well, it's at number 1, because it is just that incredible of a drifting car. And you know what? It may not be my favorite, but I can't disagree with this choice, because it is nonetheless an incredible car to go drift in, and an incredible car to drive. So it is deserving of this number 1 spot. Well guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you did enjoy this video. That having said, these videos take quite a bit of time to make, so I would really appreciate if you go and press that subscribe button. As well, in the description down below, there are links to my social media, so if you want to follow those so you're aware next time there's a poll so you can vote for your favorite cars, you should probably do that. You should also take the time and go ahead and join the Discord server, because we are a community of people, and if ever you're looking for people to play Forza with, it is the place to be. That having been said, next week's top 10 list will be the top 10 tips and tricks for Need for Speed Payback, so be sure to keep an eye out for that, as well as leave your recommendations in the comments down below. If you disagreed with the cars listed in today's list, just let me know, and also keep in mind, this list was made before most of the DLC was released for this game, so if a car was released as DLC and you don't see it on this list and you're going rage mode, well, think about that. My name has been Raymond, I've been your host for today, and thank you all for watching. Goodbye!